Alright, so I am in Adobe InDesign CC. What we're going to do is when we're on our splash page here, we're going to come up to Create New, or you can always do Command N to create a new document. I'm going to click on Create New, and we're going to create a print document, and by default mine chose letter. Over here on the right, under our document details, we have 51p0 and the unit of measurement is pica. So you can see if I drop this down, there are other units of measurement. Some you might be more familiar with, like inches. Picas are the traditional measurement for desktop publishing, newspapers, magazines, textbooks, been around before computers. If you want to be successful in the desktop publishing industry, it's probably a good idea to understand picas. Now, even though our brains think in inches, picas is an industry standard in many industries. A good thing is Adobe InDesign will convert from picas to inches on the fly. So we're going to work in picas. The width of this document is a single page width. It's a half a page, right? So if we were to fold this open and there was 2 pages side by side, it'd be a letter size, which is 11 inches. So we want our width to be half of that. That's going to be 5.5. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Come back in here. All right, 5.5 inches. And I'm going to hit tab. It sets my picas to 33. 33 pica 0 points. The height is the height of a piece of paper, so 8.5 inches and tab, and we have a 51 pica height. When you're creating a booklet, you want to have multiples of 4 pages, all right? Because you have front, back, and then inside spreads. So when we want multiples of 4, the Marina Music flyer is 8 pages. We're not going to worry about columns and gutter right now. We're going to leave our margins. Actually, we'll zero out the margins. I'm going to show you another way to do margins. So I hit 0 and tab. Then I'm going to open up Bleed and Slug. Under Bleed, this is the edge outside of the document where you want to extend background graphics and images so that when a large stack of flyers or booklets are printed, they are then cut down to size. In case there's a slight movement while it gets cut, your images and background shapes and designs go all the way to the edge without like a white strip of paper. That's what the slug does. So we do want to have a slug 0.125 IN for inches. Hit tab is the norm. So that's 9 points. 0 pica is 9 points. The slug we are not going to do. A slug is an additional amount that's outside of the bleed. And oftentimes magazines or newspapers will add a slug to the bottom margin to put notes, maybe photo credits, editor credits, some other kind of information. We're not going to do that. So now we have our document set up. I'm going to click Create. Now I'm in Create here. I have my Properties panel over here, and if I come over to Pages, you can see I have my pages. There's 8 of them, front cover, back cover, and then 3 spreads. Spreads means that you open it up like a book or a magazine, and you have left to right facing pages. Yours may not be this size, so if you come up on Pages here, you come all the way to the right, and you click on the Options panel here. We want panel options. I'm going to click on that, and my page size thumbnails, which are these, I set from medium to extra large. I want to be able to see these bigger. Once I start laying them out, I want to see what's on them. So I'm going to click OK. Then we got our document set up, right? If you look at InDesign, it is very similar to Illustrator. Oh, I think we need one more thing. You guys are going to have this top option bar. So come up to Window, and we want the control bar. Why Adobe leaves that off by default makes no sense to me. I've never seen anybody working in design without the control bar. So Window, Control. And that's going to give us our options primarily for editing text later on, but also for formatting other elements. The other thing new in Adobe CC is this Properties panel. It used to be, if we come up here to Essentials, there's these other layouts like Essentials Classic, where there were more panels like this. And then if I switch back to Essentials to where I want to be, there's less panels, but this Properties panel right here is contextual. That means whatever I am currently working on, whether it's text, a shape box, or in this case, nothing is selected, so these are all settings for the document itself. The options over here change based on either the tools I have on the toolbar on the left active or what I have selected on the document. So for example, if I were to draw out a text box, right? I had the type tool and I clicked and dragged out a text box. You will notice now this properties panel, being contextual, has changed to give me properties to edit text over here. I'm going to click my selection tool and I'm going to click on this, and now it gives me a few different options because it's an outside text frame, and I'm going to actually delete it because we don't need it. But that gives you an idea of the properties panel and why it's contextual, and adding this control bar, we're all set up to get started with our design.